So, your first two albums were symphonic orchestra. What moved you to compose electronic music?
You know, I was raised in a family where there was music everywhere. Some played music. I played music in an orchestra when I was younger, in my teens. So I lived that music very much. I did listen to pretty much everything, like most people, but that was my main thing, and the singing of the choir, and so that's what made me go into the music world. And that kind of music is the first one I produced at a professional level. But eventually, as electronic music evolves, the sound and engineering behind it, that just struck me right there, and I just needed to do it. So I've tried it with Divine World now. Materialized is much more dubstep, much more electronic, and I love it. I just enjoy it.
But you still use the name Void Orchestra.
Yeah, VoidOrchestra, because there's no orchestra, so VoidOrchestra felt good still. But seriously, the void part is you come back home, your head is filled, you don't know what's and you need to disconnect, you need to empty your mind. So the word void really applies. You just press play and boom, 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 and you disconnect, you just forget about your stuff. You're into the music.
And what's with that weird name, Maha Vajra? Is it your real name?
No, well, yes, it is my real name. I'm French, so I was born François. But in the years, Buddhist and Hindu spiritual path gave me a Sanskrit name that I liked it. MahaVajra means big diamond. But don't wear the gold bling blings everywhere like the old school rappers, but you know, big diamond is my official name now, and everyone calls me Maha. Just Maha means big guy or dude, you know.
So what inspires you to compose music?
I love it. You love it. Everyone loves it. Those who dig that kind of music, they're just going for the next. They just want to feel the next tribal level, genetic level, animal movement freed from them instead of stuck inside. So it's the sound of freedom. It goes into your guts. It's really basic, pure, and that's how you were created, and that's how you should live it.
And who does the vocals for the album?
The ladies want to stay anonymous, so I'll respect that, and the men's voice is always mine.
But in Materialized, the man's voice doesn't sound like yours.
It doesn't, indeed. I was a teen, and I liked Michael Jackson a lot, very creative, and I imitated his voice for fun. Instead of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, it was Michael Maxon's Jellybean. So it was, Jellybean, up my love, I disagree, but I feel them now. You know, so, so I just enjoyed teasing and stuff, and over years I said, well, yeah, there's something good in that voice. And then you got, love in this world makes me feel alive, makes me want to naturalize. And then with a few filters you got naturalized voice of the man right there.
You have a very great voice.
Thank you. Doesn't look like it when I go with, you know, the iron ball voice.
I know you started singing opera. Would you sing some opera for us now?
Like, unprepared now after 15 years, yeah, of course. All right. Electing.
Ego autem in te speravi, Domine, dixi Deus meus est tu, in manibus tui sortes mea. Alleluia, Alleluia.
I love that. When I first heard Naturalize, I loved the sound. It was so wonderful. But then when I listened to Forgiveness, it sounded mainstream and very basic. And at some point during the song, I just started to cry. What's going on with that?
I agree. The simplest chords, the very basic music, extremely mainstream. Nothing apparently creative in the music itself. I did it intentionally. But in the few words there, everyone has some regret at one point. They want to say they're sorry. So you got these two characters, that girl and that man, saying I'm sorry for something. You know, the girl wants to come back home to his father. It's a story. But there's always something inside us that corresponds to that I'm sorry thing that you just don't dare. And the main chorus is forgiveness, forgiveness. Just go into that idea of forgiveness of these, and then pop, everyone just, it strikes them. Well, everyone. Most people that hear it for the first time unprepared are just taking it for a small, so simple, basic song, and then bam.
And you give that track for free?
I do, yeah.
Why do you give so much for free?
Well, I want to earn a decent living. But before that, I did it for fun. So I was already giving my music. Of course, now it's a very good marketing scheme. I give something for free, they listen to everything else, buy the album. But it started off as a desire for everyone to be happy and rejoice in whatever I can bring to the world, which is my music. So I do it.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
What are your plans for the future?
Now that Materialize is out of my production queue, I'm going, just for fun, do a very hard dubstep noise album. You know, for the bass drop lovers who just want the next, they want to feel the next, give me some of that bass, you know.
Thank you, Maha.
It's a pleasure.